the applause, but recently had a recruit on campus, and I can't talk specifically about names, but for 10 months we were recruiting this one kid to try to come to Memphis, and all of a sudden, things had switched, and we ended up, obviously, the head coach, I went to, Coach Calipari, got the job in Kentucky. Then we were all trying to recruit the kid to Kentucky, and then I got the job in Memphis, and I said, my man, I need you back here in Memphis. And so the funny thing is some of these kids ask me, says, Coach, and this has happened just recently, he says, Coach, I don't understand. You told me for so long that I should be playing for Coach Calipari and going with Coach Calipari, and then you told me to go with Kentucky. I said, stop. I said, my man, let me tell you this. There's one difference between me and Coach Cal. I'm undefeated and he's not. Obviously that didn't last too long with the kid, because he still came back and said, Coach, you told me I needed to go with Coach Cal. But no, and honestly, I do want to say this one thing, obviously with Coach Calipari, what he's done here, obviously the last 4 years, just absolutely phenomenal, and not only within the basketball program, but also within the community. And I'm a gentleman that tries to be extremely loyal, and I'm loyal to everybody that I've worked for, and to all my bosses, and so and I'm still very fortunate for Coach Calipari for the opportunity that he brought me here, and then obviously very fortunate for the opportunity that Mr. Johnson gave me here to be the head coach. I do want to say that, and for a couple things. First of all, when I got the job, and people have talked about how I got the job, and it was kind of amusing because obviously when the shift happened, we were all planning to go to the other school. Well, when I got the job, I was packed. I turned my courtesy car in. I was turned my keys in. And I got the call that said, from Mr. Johnson, that said, hey, come to my house, I need to see you. And he's dressed, he's the best dressed in the country. So, with the suit and tie on, and I said, Mr. Johnson, you don't understand, I've been moving. I hadn't shaven in 4 days. I've got holes in my shirt. I've got different shoes on. He said, I need to come see you. So he said, so I get to his house, and I walk into his house, and we sit down, and he says, do you want the job? And I look around, and the first thing I was looking for that front door, where was Ashton Kutcher for pumped? Was I going to come in, or where was Candid Camera at? But I said, wait a second. But then obviously when I knew he was serious, I said, absolutely. And a couple things. I realized that some people always talk about, man, following a gentleman like Coach Calipari, who they call a legend, a future Hall of Famer, and people say, how can you do that? The pressure. I said, the pressure? I said, you kidding me? You have 3 ways to look at things. You can look at it as a glass half empty, glass half full, or the way that I like to look at it is a glass that's overflowing. And overflowing means that what we have here, the resources that are set up for a chance to succeed, the fan base, like the coaches were calling Tiger Nation, is as, I'll skip around a little bit because I'm high energy, but when I was in Tucson and Arizona, people talked about being a great fan base. You guys blow Tucson away, and I tell you, the opportunities, because the things that are set up here for success, because of the fan base, because of the community, the academics, the athletics, the facilities, we've got a chance to succeed right away. And I told everybody, we're not going to do things. We're not going to do things overnight. Things aren't going to happen overnight. It's going to take time, because from Coach Bartow, Coach Kirk, Coach Cal, none of those coaches did it overnight. It took time, and we're not going to cut any corners. We're going to make sure that the standard of excellence, the demand for excellence will remain the very same. And like I've told everybody, this is not about Josh Pastner. I want to be the last guy that you can even think of. This is about the players. This is the city of Memphis. This is about the university. This is the entire community, because this is your team. This is the players' team program. It is all of us in this together. I look at it like I'm just a gatekeeper trying to make sure that we keep this going, so you all remain proud of your program, and if we can do that, then we're going to do things the one thing, like I was telling some people over here, the one thing that hasn't been done here is win a national championship, and that's our ultimate goal, is to win that national championship. And a couple people asked me, man, how do you feel about, first of all, I wanted to address that shirt. Please know that I am way better looking on television than in person. The TV does wonders, and I was, before I got the job, nobody said I was good looking. So now I got the job, and that's when people said I was good looking. So, and I still got the same curls in the hair, but I don't know. But no, it's something that for the opportunity for us, and we've told the kids, we've told the recruits that, you know, we're here. The expectations will not change. We're here to win a national championship. Now, again, it's not going to happen overnight. And if our foundation, we cannot have the foundation be built on quicksand. Because if it is, when adversity hits or a tough time hits, it's going to crumble. We've got to make sure that the foundation and base is strictly built from the grassroots on up. When you have that there, so it can sustain for the long haul, for the long period of time, because we're looking at the big picture. And you know, and that's been the focus with our staff, which I'll introduce in a second here, and with the players and the recruits. That's what we're going to do, and that's what we're selling. And I told people asked about competing against Kentucky. Hey, if we're going to do what we want to do, we will compete against Kentucky, Carolina, Duke, UCLA. That's what we have to do. And the staff knows, I've told you guys, I know we're a little thin on numbers right now. I realize that. But we cannot settle just to go sign guys. Do we want to go sign guys? Yeah. Can we go sign guys? Absolutely. But they have to be good enough. They can't be good enough just to beat Rice or just to beat Houston. They have to be good enough to beat UCLA, Kentucky, Carolina, Duke. We've got to get those type of players. Is it limited right now in the late period? Yes. But we just got to go extra hard, find the best players that we can get, the best student athletes that we can get, and if that means globally, we'll go internationally. It doesn't matter. We're going to find a way to round out, and if the kid's not good enough, we're not going to, we obviously don't want to, bring him in. The other thing is, and I talked about in the press conference, is about recruiting inside out. When I say about inside out, I want to make sure that we do a job of protecting the city and then the surrounding areas. I think that's very important. And to say that because there's so many good players, good student athletes within the city of Memphis and the surrounding areas that we've got to make sure that we do our job to keep the kids here because we have so much to offer. But again, they have to be good enough. They've got to be a good enough student athlete to play here. And if they are, we're going to do everything we can to make it extremely, almost impossible for them to say no to leave this place because there's no reason for them to leave here. If we want them, this is the best place in America. There's no doubt about that. I want to introduce my two staff members. Glenn Cyprian, who came from Kentucky and then Oklahoma State, Arkansas. And Coach Willis Wilson, former head coach of Rice for 16 years. Both gentlemen exemplify what we want here. We're going to, dedication. We're going to be energized. We're going to be positive. We're going to be upbeat. We're going to have fun, and we're going to keep this thing going. And like I said, our eventual goal is to win a national championship. Thank you.